Well, good morning, folks, and welcome back to the farm. Feels like a pretty lovely day out here, but I don't feel very lovely this morning. I feel like I slept in a 5-gallon bucket full of logging chain, and I'm getting sick. I got whatever's going on up here. Sore throat, sinus pain. Maybe from bending over a MIG welder half the day yesterday, but hopefully, I almost kind of hope that's it. I kind of hope it's just I poison myself with welding fumes, and I'll come right back around in like 24 hours. As opposed to, the alternative, which is, hey, let's be sick as a dog for 5 to 7 days. But anyways, the show's got to go on. Get the side by side loaded up with hammers and nails and saws and staples, and get some fence posts put on the big yellow tractor there, and go out and build some more fence. That seems to be took 2 weeks off work, and that's all I've done is build fence or fix fence or chase sheep around, and it's getting old, let me tell you. Let's see if we can get this old yellow beast to fire up here. Come on, baby. There we go. Off to a good start here. The PTO driven hydraulic pump on that post pounder sheared the bolt. Well, it shouldn't even be a bolt. There's a set screw on there, and at one point in time I think there was even a keyway in there, but as time goes on, things get hodgepodge together. So now it's got a bolt in it. That bolt sheared, and this thing got hot, and I haven't even pounded one fence post yet. That's just from starting the tractor and warming it up. So put a new bolt in. We're gonna head down the hill. Hopefully it stays in one piece. Well, big change of plans here now. Big change of plans. I cannot get that PTO shear pin to stay. I don't know what's going on there, misalignment issue or just what, but it keeps shearing off. So that's a sign. And then the mother-in-law texts over and says they got a bull with his head stuck in a feeder. And of course, like a big round bale feeder. So it's running around with a round bale feeder on its head. That's not cool. So I got the reciprocating saw. We're gonna rip out to Rio Grande, which is a good 35-minute drive, and go cut a feeder off the bull's head. Fantastic. No fencing today. Another change in plan. We got out here. Bull was stuck in the feeder, and he was pulling that feeder all the way around. So we figured we'll get the tractor fired up here, and then put the grapple on, anchor the feeder, and go in with the recip saw and cut it off. Tractor wouldn't start because the starter pooched on it. I got it running. As soon as I got it running, he got out by himself. So what we could do is have a fiasco trying to get the bull separated from those cows and put into a different pen. Or we just pull the bale feeder out and eliminate any chance of things going wrong in there. So that's what we've done. Just pull it out completely. They don't need it in there. Now I'm gonna go home and try and fix my fence. All right, so we're back home here now, back dealing with our own problems. So the PTO on that PTO driven hydraulic pump is something I'm gonna come tackle when the kids go to bed, when I got a little bit more patience. Maybe you've had something to eat. That would help. But anyways, our plan was this south fence line along here. So I've had them grazing in the bush over here, right? And then the electric net ran down through here. You can kind of see where the two, kind of like the Atlantic meets the Pacific. Anyways, I was gonna let him into the rest of there. So the plan was to come in with the post pounder, repound some posts in there, and then probably in a couple days run into UFA, get a big roll of wire, and then fence it off. But post pounder not working right now, and just not having the patience for it. We said to hell with it, and we just run electric net the whole way. So I got the Energizer off. The Energizer was on this post here. Ground rod's still here. I gotta get this thing fetched out. So if you ever pound one of these in, especially on a dry year like this, you want to have this thing almost pounded down as deep as you can possibly go. If you can hit the water table, even better, because you really want that electricity to wake that sheep up when it touches. But then when you go to move your Energizer, if you need that ground rod again, if you don't just have an abundance of them, then how do you get it out? Because it's probably deep seated in there. So what I like to do is just go with a pipe wrench and just go 2 or 3 spins with the pipe wrench, and then I just use it to create a bind, and then I just pull up and they just pop right out. So just like this. It's got a little bit of a bend to it, and then and it'll just slide right out just like that. Bob's your uncle. Now, of course, tensions ran a little high over here this morning because our sheep were out. The equipment we were going to use wasn't working. And then the mother-in-law called over, and she was having trouble with the bull that was stuck in the feeder. And then we come home. This fella here got in with the sheep and was chasing them. So my wife was like, we're going to sell everything. We're going to sell all the animals. We're going to sell the farm. We're going to move to an acreage, 20 acres. We'll keep a couple chickens. And that'll be about it. And I'm like, oh yeah? Like, what's the first thing you're going to sell? She says, you, meaning me. So I'm lot 1. I guess I'm still number 1 at least.